Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It's Sunday and it's Shirley. Hi. um, Maybe some sound in the background. That's why I'm wearing my headphones. I don't live alone anymore, and you can't make people be quiet when they're just living their lives. So, um, anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about something that was asked of me to talk about, and that is passive influence. Passive influence of alters. The typical way that people look at DID is like, oh, these alters, they take over your life and they do things that you don't know about. And that is true. That is part of uh, DID. But there's also passive influence where they don't completely take over the body, or maybe they co-consciousness with some other alter, and they can both come in, or three or four take over at the same time, and they can uh, wreak a little bit of havoc, if you can just imagine. Or here's another one. Have you ever experienced it where uh I'm sorry, I'm losing track of my brain today. I'm a little bit I've been under a lot of stress and strain, and I'm under a lot of stress and strain just like you, because I have DID. I get a little squirrely in the head. I mean, that's normal um for us. Anyway, passive influence. You're going to have thoughts come from nowhere. You have no idea where that thought came from, or ideas, or whatever. And you're like, where'd that come from? Usually an altar that's passively sitting back in the background, telling you what it wants, or what they want. Um, there are no really good ways to defeat that except to become co conscious with all your altars and co aware. That's a big one right there, co aware of what's going on so that they live in reality just as much as you do. It takes time, it takes patience, but you will get there. It took me years to get to this point. So, of course, I've got like over 100 altars, so it's cool, man. If you know, not everybody takes 30 years in therapy to get this far. Um, she was wondering if I have some ways to not lose time. I wish I did. Um, not lose time. It just comes with integration and with fusion. With it, when you become one with an altar, then you are that combination, and you don't lose time to that personality anymore. However, there is losing time when it's not an altar. It's just you spacing out and be dissociating. It doesn't always mean you switch. When you dissociate, it doesn't always mean that. And lose time, lose track of time, lose a day, lose a week. Or if, like me, I move into the next day and it's like that yesterday didn't exist. Um, that's a big another conversation about uh, amnesia, dissociative amnesia. It's very real. Switching is, I don't know how to stop switching. How to stop losing time. I know how it takes time and you can overcome it, but I don't have any 12 steps or 4 steps or 10 steps to tell you how to stop losing time. The only thing you can do is go to therapy, work through the issues that cause you to lose time in the first place, and hope that, not hope, but expect that through all that work, you will stop losing so much time. Um, and then she asked also about if there are ways to deal with the confusion, um, and how to be okay with this and not want to just be done. I understand the frustration. I have DID. I understand your frustration. I also know that um, it's never okay to be confused. I hate that. I hate being confused. I'm that way a lot. Ask anybody who knows me. Um, but as far as just wanting to be done, I've been down that road too, and it's a dead end. Um, there's a lot to live for, even though you may not be able to see it. sometimes you can't see the trees for the forest, you know what I mean? And losing time and being confused is part of who you are. That will pass with time. You'll be less and less confused, less and less time. I'm still in the process of fusion, still in the process of integration, and I still lose a lot of time. So, but not as much as I once did. That's for truth. Not as much as I once did. I have come to the point where I may lose a day or a couple hours, but I remember most of it. It's just I don't remember the nuances. And sometimes I don't remember what was talked about. But I do remember that yesterday happened. Just that I don't know the nuances of it and all that, you know. Um, so anyway, I hope this helped. I don't know. Sometimes I think I just ramble on. I don't intend to be rambling, but unfortunately, that's part of who I am too. Alrighty, well, I hope you'll visit my website. I'll put the link down below. It's learnaboutdid.com. And if you have any questions, I'm much better answering questions on paper or on the computer than I am like this. So if you have any questions, send them to my email or ask them in the comments below. That'd be fine. And I'll answer to the best of my ability. And just remember, I'm not a medical professional. I'm just someone who happens to live with DID. Okay? Y'all take it easy, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.